everyone, Luke here. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, I'm going to talk about Litecoin as Truth. Now, this is a little more of an esoteric concept, so bear with me on this. But it's important that you realize that it's not only true with Litecoin, but with some of these more decentralized cryptocurrencies in general, like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Digibyte, etc. So they are truth machines, which means you can't fool them, right? If I have a private key, right, if I have Litecoin, I can prove that I have the Litecoin. Using the smart contract, I can make sure that the contract, there's no way to avoid the contract. Okay, the contract becomes truth, basically. And it's a way, the blockchain becomes a way to verify information, right? So let's take one example, right? Let's say a news event happens at some point on a timeline. Now we know that Bitcoin, or we can use the Litecoin blockchain or Ethereum, right? We can timestamp that news article using, basically using cryptography, using the blockchain, and we can prove that that news article existed. Same with like a tweet, for example, any kind of social media post, right? So let's say we had a tweet system, like a Twitter based on a blockchain, okay? And each post was a transaction on the blockchain. You could go back and you could verify the owner of the tweet. You could verify that the tweet happened, and it'd be uncensorable. No one could stop you from making the tweet, okay? So in that way, it's a truth machine, okay? It's a truth machine when it comes to social media. You can use it as a truth machine. You can use it with contracts, okay? You can use it with money. It's a truth machine for money. So we know only a certain number of Litecoin are going to ever exist. Okay, we can verify that, and we can see it on the blockchain. Okay, we can see where the Litecoin is moving. We can see the velocity of the Litecoin. All these things make Litecoin a truth machine. Okay, and also these cryptocurrencies in general. Okay, so because Litecoin and these cryptocurrencies are a truth machine, we can then abstract another thing from it. We can then say that as more capital flees into Litecoin and Bitcoin and these other cryptocurrencies, that the world and our financial system will become more truthful over time. Okay, it's a little more esoteric of a concept. It's important that you realize this. And I consider myself quite an intuitive person, and I feel very strongly about this, okay? Not only from a technical aspect of Litecoin, but just tuning to Litecoin, okay? Talking to other spiritual, sort of intuitive people that feel the same way about cryptocurrencies, okay? It's important that you realize that, everything happens for a reason. There's a reason why blockchain and these cryptocurrencies are coming to the forefront at this time in human history, right? So going back to it as a truth machine, we can then infer, like I just mentioned, that as more capital goes into it, so as more money goes into something like Litecoin, the world actually becomes more truthful in a way. Not the entire world, there's still many lies in our world, but it helps the overall big picture, right? As more money goes into Litecoin, as more capital, as more social media goes into these blockchains, as more contracts, as more of the money systems go into these blockchains, the world is becoming more truthful. And this is a very, very important concept because there's many lies in the world today, and the people are waking up. And so we can actually infer that as Litecoin grows, there'll be more truth revelations coming up. And this relates to the video that I made previously. You can go watch the previous video where I made some 2019 predictions, right? And one of the predictions that I also feel very strongly is that as Litecoin breaks free, as we start to see Litecoin move up faster and faster, we will actually see more and more truth come out. Okay, this includes truth with climate change, how they've lied to us, with vaccines, how they've lied to us, with Hollywood and the Pizzagate type stuff, how they've lied to us. A lot of this stuff will start to come out to the surface more and more as Litecoin begins its new bull market, okay? And I've always felt this intuitively, but this is, besides just my own intuition, this is a way for me to get it down on a whiteboard and actually explain it to you in a more sort of fundamental way, right? In a way that's more, it's less kind of woo-woo and just based off my own intuition, and more sort of explaining it to you guys in a more technical fashion, okay? Although it's important to realize that a lot of these conclusions I came to intuitively, but it's also based off logic and reason, right? And it's important to also realize that the best intuition, the best psychics, in my experience, are more grounded, and they're also working off logic and reason, okay? Logic and reason can go hand in hand with intuition. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Hope that makes sense. But as Litecoin begins this next bull run, I do think that we will see more truths come out, okay? Like I said, this is stuff with vaccines, stuff with climate change. We'll see stuff with the truth of like the Federal Reserve, the money system, so the Federal Reserve. And we will start to, like I mentioned in the last video, we will see the continued breakdown of our college system, the breakdown of the welfare system more and more, the breakdown of the Democratic Party more and more, as more and more truths come to the light about these systems. And so look for Bitcoin as a temporal marker. There are some indications that Litecoin is bottom, but if Litecoin starts going, like we're really sure it's entering a new bull market, when that starts to happen, I'm going to expect more truth bombs at a faster pace. So what I mean by that is we're going to maybe see a FISA declass, see the FISA memo declassed, and see some of the truth about the FBI surveilling Trump in the Trump Tower sort of meetings, before he was actually elected president, and how they were wiretapping him. We're going to see about the Hillary Clinton connection and the Clinton Foundation, and we're going to see how they were actually involved selling uranium to Russian suppliers. We're going to see, again, more truth about Pizzagate come out. As it comes out, the truth will shock people. And it's household names, these actors and Hollywood producers that are involved, oftentimes in the basically human trafficking and the exploitation of children. It's not just young women, it's actually children. And it's quite horrific, and it has to happen in layers. And the reason why it has to happen in layers is because the public can't handle it all at once. It's too much. It's too much for the public, for most people to handle all at once. And so it has to come in layers, or else society would break down too fast. And I do expect there will be some mild breakdown of society, and it'll be worse in certain places than others. But overall, it won't be as bad as people think it will, partially because of the cryptocurrencies, right? This is the new system that we are going to, okay? So that's just that's the synopsis of this video, okay? I hope that helps you guys out. I hope it gives your brains kind of, going in a certain direction, maybe different than you're somewhat more used to. And it's important that you understand these cryptocurrencies, these blockchain technologies are very, very important for this time on planet Earth. And they're truth machines. And they can install truth into social media. They can install truth into the money systems. They can install truth into our contracts between ourselves. And they can help the public realize a lot of truths about our world that they might not know, okay? And as more capital, as more energy goes into these cryptocurrencies and these blockchain technologies, we will see the truth come to light more and more truth will enter into our world at this time. And that's part of the great shift that's happening in our world. And so it's not all doom and gloom. It's a good shift that's happening. And it's not only truth, it's more sort of well-being based sciences that don't harm our bodies as much, and it's greater concentration on fixing our food supply and cleaning up the earth and fixing some of the flaws in our religions and things like that. And it's coming from the heavens. That's where the change always starts, and it filters down to our world. And if you ask any real spiritual person, that they'll tell you this, any sort of like intuitive sort of spiritual person, right? But anyways, I hope this helps you guys out. I hope you enjoyed the video, and like I said, I really hope that it makes sense to you, and I hope that it kind of gets your brain going in a sort of different direction than you might be used to. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later.